Started.
Hey, hi all. Good morning. So, welcome to this Power BI training course. So, fine. Let me quickly give you a like schedule of this course. So, this is a weekend batch, Saturday and Sunday. So, timing will be 11 to 12:30 p.m. IST. It means 1.5 hour daily, and the duration will be 2 months. But today is a demo class, so I'll be taking this. We'll taking this for 1 hour. And Salik is the trainer. He has a very good expertise working as a data analyst in multiple MNCs like Infosys and few other companies. And he's associated as a trainer with us, and he has taken training in some corporate houses as well. So he will walk you through the course syllabus and the format, how he will be taking the classes, and who are the target audience. But please feel free and ask question. I can understand like most of you are from the previous batch, so you know the format. But please feel free and ask question and make the session interactive. Okay. So fine then, Salik, you can start.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Let me just go through this. Yeah, fine. Hi all. Good morning. So before starting the business relationship, okay, and let's start discussing about the syllabus that will be the part of this course. Okay. So we will start with the introduction to the business intelligence and introduction to Power BI, which involves the installation and also discussion over what are the building blocks of Power BI, the components of Power BI, and overall graphical user interface of Power BI. Okay. So once that is done, okay, we will be dealing with getting the data into the Power BI and transforming it in the required way, or basically using the ETL tool that is the inbuilt part of the Power BI. Okay, sorry, which is known as the Power Query Editor. Okay, so in Power Query Editor, we will be getting the data from various sources. We'll be looking into how to store the data. I mean, store the data in different storage modes, which involves looking into what is direct query mode, what is import mode, and what is the live connection. Okay. And then we will discuss about how to clean the data, okay, by using numerous functions available in Power Query Editor, like the cleaning the data, trimming the data, profiling of the data, and replacing values, and some other things like handling the null, errors, pivoting, unpivoting, merging, appending, and the difference between the same. Okay, and yeah, importing from the folders, creating custom columns, how to create the summarized data or summary table. All these things we will be discussing in Power Query Editor. Okay, so that is the part of our Power Query Editor thing. Okay, and once that transformation of the data is done, okay, and once that is done, we will be moving on to the data modeling in Power BI. Okay, and that component is also called as Power Pivot. And in here in before the start of the data modeling in Power BI, we will deal with some of, yeah, anybody is saying something? Okay. So yeah, so before starting the data modeling, okay, we will deal with some of the basic data warehouse concepts, which are necessary to be understood to create I mean, to create a correct data model. Okay, and then we will discuss about the need of the data model and how to create and edit the relationship in Power BI. Okay, and we will also see what are the different cardinalities that can be established in Power BI. And also we will discuss about the cross filter directions and how to activate and deactivate the relationships that we create in the data model part. Okay, so that's the part of the data modeling in Power BI.
Recording in progress.
Let's check. Is it? Yeah, it's working fine. Hmm. And yeah, after that, we will be looking into the actual data. Okay, actual data visualizations. That is understanding the different types of visuals. I mean, the concept of which visual to be used in which scenario. that we will discuss first, and then we will come to the Power BI, and there we will discuss about different types of visuals which are available within the Power BI. For examples, for example, the tables, the bar chart, the column chart, pie chart also there is, and the line graph, okay, donut charts, and we will also discuss about some of the custom visuals which we can import through the third parties into the Power BI. And not just that, we will also discuss about how to do the conditional formatting, okay, how to use the things like bookmarks and the various applications that it comes with, and how to use the page navigations and all those things which are important for us to discuss in the visualization part, okay. And yeah, this visualization part we will come later, but before that we will discuss about the DAX, that is the data analysis expression, okay, the main engine over which the formula work in the front end in Power BI, that is DAX, that is also known as data analysis expression, okay. And here first of all we will be discussing about the row context and filter context and the different difference between the same, and which is very important to be understood, okay, in order to get understand to a data analysis expression, okay. Mm, yeah. And then we will discuss about the calculated columns, the measures, the implicit and the explicit measures, and the difference between the implicit and the explicit measures, okay, which is which is very important to be understood, okay. And then we will start discussing on to the aggregate functions, iterator functions, the if function, switch function, different version of the count function, and then we will discuss about the calculate functions and how to use the filters and how to modify the filters by using different DAX functions again, okay. And we will discuss about the table functions, the logical concatenation, and the time intelligence functions, how to create the date dimension table. We will discuss all of that and how to use the summarize function, okay, to create these summary tables using variables, using quick measures whenever necessary. So all these things will be covering elaborately as far as the tax is concerned, okay. So yeah, then once that is done, we will going to discuss about the Power BI service, okay, which is nothing but the cloud platform in which we can publish our work in Power BI, okay. And there we will be discussing about the different license types that are available in Power BI, and we will discuss about how to create the workspace, okay, how to publish the reports, how to create the dashboards and apps in Power BI service, okay. And we will also see how to download the gateway schedule, the refreshers, will understand the data flows, will understand the difference between the data flows and the data sets, and we will discuss about the static and dynamic row level security and also the incremental refresh, okay. So these all things will be covered in the Power BI service, okay. And once that is done, okay, and as this whole thing that is all these concepts go on parallelly, we will be doing the end to end business intelligence project which is implemented using all these components of Power BI, okay. So this is the content of this whole Power BI syllabus. So any doubt with respect to this? Nice, yes or no? Do you guys have any doubt? Am I audible? Can anybody confirm? Is there any doubt? Yes or no? So shall I proceed?
No,
No.
for me,
Okay,
no.
fine. Okay. Okay, then. So let's start discussing about the business intelligence. Okay. So let me just run this. Let me just close this. Just give me a minute. I think in Power BI files I have kept. So yeah. So now let's discuss about the business intelligence, which basically is what we use the Power BI for. Okay. So in simple terms, the business intelligence is gathering the data. Okay. This data you guys can see. We are gathering this data and converting the data, which looks like this. Okay. And when I say that, what I mean is, if you look into the data, which is onto the left hand side, okay, this one, it is a simple table and it might consist of numerous columns, which might consist of certain dimensions, certain measures, but ultimately you will not be able to draw any conclusion just by looking at this particular table. But the business intelligence actually deals with how to get this, okay, how to get this and convert this into this. Okay, this, if you look into this now, into the first tile, okay, the what this particular visual or tile says, it says that the year to date sales of this year has been $11.53 million, okay, and it has actually depreciated by 0.83 percentage. And if we look onto this, the second tile, okay, this tile says that the top 5 product YTD sales. It gives you an account of what are the top 5 products in terms of YTD sales this year. Okay, and if you look at the third tile, it is trying to give you the information about the sales distribution across the geography, okay, or across the different states of your country, okay, like that. So this is what the real-time BI scenario looks like. You will be getting the data which looks like this, and you cannot inform much from this kind of data, but ultimately you will be able to convert this into this form of data, or the data which would be visually making more sense, okay, and the business end, they will be able to draw the conclusion from. For example, they will be coming to know which particular states is generating more sales compared to others, or what are the top 5 products with respect to sales, or what is the YTD sales this year. Okay, so this process as a whole, we call it as the business intelligence. Okay, so I hope this thing is clear to you guys, the business intelligence thing. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So see, today's the demo class. I'm just giving you the overview, okay? And once we will start the hands-on, okay? So we will start doing all these things. Let me just show you. I have kept the Power BI open for that, and we will start each. We will do all those things by our own, okay? And right now I'm just giving you the overview of the Power BI, that you guys will get comfortable with the Power BI, okay? So we will do all this hands-on, all these things. We will also see the, let me just we will also see the Power Query Editor, how to get into the Power Query Editor, and all these things, okay? So don't worry about that, okay? Right now, let's go to the next slide. Yeah. So we will continue discussing about the high-level architecture of what the business intelligence looks like in any organization, be it MNC or anything, okay? So the high-level architecture of the business intelligence will be similar, okay? Uh, so now it starts with the this left-hand side part, you guys can see. Now what we have here in the onto the left-hand side is the data which is coming from the different sources. The data might be stored in the form of RDBMS, that is the Relative Database Management System, or the data might be in the Excel or Access database, or it might be some flat file or text file. It might be coming from some transaction system of from some operating system directly. Okay, so we have the data coming from different sources. Okay, now if we talk about this stage, okay, now what happened is that here after this, after getting the data, extracting the data, we have one particular area which is called as staging area. Okay, just give me a just give me a second. Sorry for that. Yeah, so we were talking about the ETL thing. So this is stage, what we called it as the staging area. That is, in this layer, what happens is called as ETL. Now, what is ETL? ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. Now, let us discuss about the extract. Extract means it basically extracts the data from different sources, which which it is doing right now. It is extracting the data somewhere, okay, and that is, it's extracting the data from Excel files or the flat files or any other sources, okay. So extracting the data from different sources, then it transforms that data which it has extracted. Now, what is meant by transforming the data? In transforming the data, it converts the data from raw form into the desired form. For example, if the data has some errors or it has some values, or let's say it has the data in the format that you don't want it to be. Let's say if the date format is DDMMYY, but you want the date format to be in MMDDYY. Okay, so all these things, all these transformations will be done in the ETL stage. Okay, this is also called as staging environment, and ETL is done here. Okay, in this staging stage. Okay, so yeah, and once the data is transformed to our requirement, as per our requirement, it will then be loaded into this stage, which is called as the data warehouse. Now, the data warehouse in actual, it is actually a collection of certain tools and technique, but as a whole, what data warehouse is, it's a central repository, okay, of data, which is coming from different sources after applying the ETL onto it, okay. Basically, we have all the data here, and all the data is coming from different sources. It passes through ETL, that is, it becomes uniform. Then it is stored into the data warehouse, which is the central repository, like we can see here, okay. And let's say once the data is in here, then let's say you have the different domains in your industry, okay. For example, one domain belongs to the finance, another belongs to, let's say, the HR, and one more belongs to the, let's say, the operations and manufacturing. So what do we do here is, data is extracted from this data warehouse, and small data marts are created. For example, one data mart will be related to finance, one will be related to, as I said, HR, and the another might be related to operations and manufacturing, okay. And like this, we create many data marts for each and every category or the domain, okay. And based on what kind of reporting that we are dealing with, let's say we want to do the reporting based on the financial aspects, okay, then we get only that data into the next stage. And the next stage is nothing but where we use the BI tools, okay. That is the reporting tools in here. We might use the reporting tools like the Power BI, Tableau, ClickSense, or maybe Grafana, and different tools there in the market, okay. And let's say if you want only operations or manufacturing related data to your analysis, okay, to do your analysis, that will be done here, and ultimately your dashboard will be done at the BI, that is here. We will be having Power BI desktop, okay. So I hope the concept of high level architecture of business intelligence is clear with everyone, that what is the flow of the data, where it is starting from and where it is coming in. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
But exactly
Mhm.
from where it is coming.
Exactly, like like suppose you have a data in your Excel, okay? You are extracting that data and you are doing ATL onto it. And once that ATL is done, then you are storing that data into your data warehouse, okay? And then if it is clean and uniform, then you will bring that data into your BI tool. This is generally what is the flow of the data, okay? And even if your data is uniform, and if you think that we can directly use it onto the BI tools, you can directly pull it into your BI tools, okay? But generally in any of the organization or MNC, they generally store their data in the data warehouse, okay? So we generally pull all the data from the data warehouse. Is this clear? Okay. No. In the whole central repository that we have discussed, this data warehouse, okay, which this data warehouse, you will be having the different kinds of data. Like you will be having the metadata. Metadata is basically the information about the data itself, okay? And then you might be having the data in the summarized form, or sometimes you might be having the data might be having the raw transactional data, okay? This so this kind of data is converted into different data marts, like we can see here. For example, the data belonging to sales domain, that you store as one data mart, and the data belonging to marketing domain, that is stored as another data mart, which I've already discussed it here, that how the data mart is being used. So that is the thing, it is shown in here, okay? So basically this is the thing. And yeah, so now let's move on to the next discussion, and yeah, we will discuss why the business, I mean, why the BI tools are needed, and what is basically the different types of BI tools used. Okay, so basically, this is the important thing, that is raw data, or the data which is in, let's say uh, the data is in its crude form, that is just, let's say, the tables or the columns maybe, okay? In that data we have just the tables and the column, and that is hard to read and draw the conclusions from, okay? And hence the BI tools are used to convert those kind of data, okay, into the data which is visually more meaningful. And this whole process, we call it as the BI, or business intelligence, as I have shown it in here, okay? So, and there are simple there are some BI tools like let's say the Power BI, the Tableau, there's ClickView, and we have also a ClickSense, okay? There's Alteryx, MSBI, and SAP BI. There's also a thing like Spotfire and also Grafana, all these things, okay? But currently in the industry, the tool which is most widely used is Power BI itself. And that is due to the fact that it has a connection with more than 100 different data sources, okay? And the thing is, it also comes as an integration with Microsoft 365, which comes with the other packages like integration with Outlook, integration with Teams, and currently it comes with the new thing, that is the integration with Microsoft Fabric, okay? So all those things will be discussed later, but yeah, the thing is what the BI tools are used for, and these are the different BI tools, okay? So that's why we use the BI tools to convert the um, data into more meaningful data, okay, in the visuals. That is the thing about that. And yeah, the Power BI has developed more demand in the market in last few years due to its as I said, the capabilities in data analysis and visualization, okay? And the important thing to be noted is that the Power BI is not a single tool, but it is a stack of components. What components? These components, okay? The first one is Power BI Desktop, okay? It's a desktop application which you can install in your computer. So that is Power BI Desktop. And believe me, most of the project work happens in Power BI Desktop. nowhere else but in the Power BI desktop itself. Okay. Then we have the next thing, which is called as Power BI service. Just give me. Yeah. And Power BI service is a cloud-based application where you can publish your data and you can collaborate your work with the colleagues in your organization. So all those things can be done by using Power BI cloud-based application. Okay. Then we have the Power BI mobile app application. Okay, but the thing is, in mobile application, which is installed in your mobile, we do not use that to develop anything. At max, some people might use it just to review the work which has already been published, but that's that's about it. Okay, it is almost never used to develop some reports or dashboards. Okay, then we have the Power BI servers. Basically, these are the on-premise or local servers, and we have also this Power BI report builder, which is just like the SSRS, and which is used to develop the paginated reports. So this is about the different components of Power BI. Okay, so mainly we use this Power BI desktop, Power BI service for creating report and sharing the reports and all these things. Okay, so yeah, and the next thing is here, if you look into the Power BI desktop, okay, it is used to do all these things which are mentioned in here. That is, it is used to bring the data into the Power BI and do the ETL, that is cleaning and transforming, and complete the modeling of the data in the in this. Okay, then visualize, analyze the data. So all of these things you will do it in the Power BI desktop. Whereas in Power BI service, we mainly use this to publish, share, and collaborate our work with our organization. Okay, and then we have the Power BI mobile, as I have already told, that which is mainly used for just reviewing the content, which has already been developed by someone else, or maybe developed by us also, but it is not used to develop some content. Just for reviewing parts it is used. Okay, so this is about the different components that come as a package in Power BI. Any dots till here? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So yeah, fine. Now we will move ahead. So let's look into the building blocks of Power BI. So building blocks of Power BI, in the sense, the blocks which make the Power BI work. Okay, so the first one is the data set. Okay, I hope all of you might be knowing the meaning of the data set. Yes or no?
No, I don't know.
Okay, okay. So basically, the data set is a file which contains your data, as simple as that. Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, the data set is basically file which contains your data. It might be in various forms, like a, let's say, Excel file or CSV or flat file. It might be your SQL database. Okay, so all these things which contains your data are called as data sets. Okay, and then we have the visualizations. Basically, the thing which I showed you here. No, okay, here. Okay, so these things are visuals themselves. Okay, these things are called as visualization, and the visualizations are useful to understand the ultimate analysis of any basics. Okay, so they will make you understand the data quite easily. They are more understandable to, or we can say they are easy on the eyes. Okay, and then we have yeah, then we have the tiles. Okay, the tiles are basically the space on which the visuals are appearing. Okay, for example, we have these visuals. Okay, and which, which if we consider this, which shows the YTD cell, this can be called as one tile. This can be called as another tile. Okay, So these are different tiles in here. And also, if I will show it onto the Power BI, okay. Let me just go to the details. So this is one tile, okay. This is another tile, and all this thing, which is in here, okay. So yeah. So that's about the tiles, and then we have the reports, okay. And reports, I can show as I have shown it to you here. Now this whole thing is called as a report, okay. This individual visual which we are seeing here, these are called as the tiles, and but the whole thing is called as report, okay. So if we consider this a single one, this is a tile, and if we consider all this thing, this makes it a report. Now the thing about then we have the dashboard as well, okay. And generally what happens in the business intelligence in almost all the industries is that they will use the terms uh, like they will use the term dashboards and reports like very often, okay. And very similarly, that is when they say reports or dashboards, they mean the same. But in Power BI, when it comes to Power BI service, that is this component of the Power BI, the meaning of report and dashboard, it changes, okay. The meaning of reports and dashboard, it changes actually, okay. And that we will discuss later while we deal with the Power BI service in detail, okay. But right now you just keep in your mind that the reports are a bit different in Power BI service compared to dashboards, okay. Both will be having the visuals, but they are a bit different. We will discuss that later when we when we start the Power BI service topic, okay. So yeah, so till here, any dot, anyone? At least say yes or no.
No.
Okay. Yeah, then so next what we will discuss is the 4 views of the Power BI desktop, okay. And for that sake, I have kept my Power BI open. So this is the graphical user interface of the Power BI, okay. Yes, yeah, fine. Mm, am I audible, guys? Can anybody
Yes, sir.
confirm?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Sorry, there was a power cut. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we were talking about the Power BI graphical interface. Okay. About the different, I think, yeah, views of Power BI desktop. Okay. And the important thing to be noted is it consists of previews. The previews means the view which we are currently in. This is called as report view. Like if I hover my cursor here, you can see there is this one thing. It is saying this is as report view, okay. And in this report view, your visuals are visible, okay. Like this, here you can see it says the report view, and we have the reports in here. But if I hover downwards and if I click on the next thing, okay, so you guys can see it is a table view. It will take me to another view wherein I have stored all my tables, okay. Sorry, can you see this? We have the table view in here as mentioned in the tooltip.
Yes.
Okay, so this view shows you what all tables you have in your Power BI. Okay, here we can see the all the data. or all the table which we have in the Power BI, and that is called as table view, or it is also called as data view. Okay, and the third one, if I will click on this is the model view. Okay, and this view stores the information about how all these tables are interlinked with each other. Okay, basically how they are connected with each other, or what kind of cardinality exists between them. Now some of you might be having the question that what is the cardinality. Okay, that I'm talking about. We will discuss about the cardinality once we are into the data model section of Power BI. But right now, we just remember that in the data model view, or this is also called as Power Pivot. Okay, in model view, we will be having the information about how the different tables are connected with each other. Okay, right now you remember that. Later we will go into detail about all those things like cardinalities, relationships, and all directions, and all these things will be discussed in very much detail. Okay, so yeah, so this is the thing about this model view. And now there's another view, that is the DAX query view, which is updated in Power BI recently. I think in the month of August or September uh, of 2024, it has been updated in here. Before that, it wasn't here. Okay, so and this view is mainly used for like testing aggregation functions, debugging relationship between tables, checking the output of calculated measures or the columns which we will create. Okay, yeah, this is about the four views. Okay, but mainly we will deal with all these things at later point of time. So don't you guys don't have to worry about that. And sorry,
What is this tool called?
uh, which one?
The which you are showing in the screen?
This thing, whole thing.
Yes.
This is Power BI desktop. Okay, I will show you how to
Okay.
install into your desktop and all these things. Okay, how to get into your
Only
desktop.
so only this is required, nothing else for the
Yeah, this is
visualization and
yes,
extraction,
yes, and
everything.
it is quite simple to install. Okay, the Power BI
Oh,
desktop thing. Okay,
okay. Hmm.
yeah. So yeah, that is the four views which we have discussed. Okay, okay, yeah. Then let's see. Let's move on to the next thing, that is the ETL tool of Power Query, or the ETL tool of the Power BI, that is known as Power Query Editor. But I think before this, that is necessary for us to understand the workflow. Okay, workflow of the actual work that happens in Power BI. Okay, so how work goes on. So the first, it starts with this, that is connecting to a different sources. Okay, or basically bringing the data into the Power BI from different sources. Okay, then second thing is the transformation of the data. You will convert the raw data into the data which is desired. Okay, or basically the data which is uniform, and the data which is free of errors, or maybe the null values, all those things. So that is what happens here in the transformation of the data. And to do the transformation of the data, we use a small ETL tool, which is a part and parcel of the Power BI desktop itself. Okay, and that is called as Power Query Editor. That is about the transformation of the data. And so how to get into the Power Query Editor? You just need to have to click on this transform data option. You will be redirected into the Power Query Editor. So we will discuss this thing. Okay, once we will start with the Power Query Editor. So yeah, and then we have the next thing, that is modeling of the data. Now let me ask you a question based on the discussion which we already did. Okay, where do you think the modeling of the data happens in Power BI? Okay, in which view? Like I have shown you this four views now, these four views. According to this four views, in which of the
Model view?
we were
Data view.
we will no, data view is only for just seeing the data. Okay, it will display the data or the table which you have stored in your Power BI, but the modeling of the data will happen in the model view. Okay, is this clear?
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay, great. So yeah, within Power BI, it happens in that model view, and okay, yeah. And that is also called as Power Pivot. Okay, and then after modeling the data, okay, once we model the data, we make the connection and the relationship between the data between the tables. We create the calculated columns and measures. Okay, basically we create new custom columns or new custom fields or formula to get our exact measure in the visualization or get the exact numbers in the visualization. Okay, and once that is done, we actually create the reports and the visualization. Okay, and once the reports and the visualizations are ready, we will publish them into the Power BI service and we share it. And if possible, we also collaborate our work with the colleagues of our organization. So this is the basic workflow happens in Power BI. Okay, any sorry. So any thoughts regarding this, whatever we have discussed till now?
No.
No. Okay. So let's start with
I have one
introducing.
doubt.
Yeah, go ahead.
During transformation of data, uh,
Hmm.
we have to apply our own transformation, or we will be provided that these transformations has to be there in data.
Yes, correct. Good question. So yeah, so basically what the thing is, all the transformations which you will you will use or you will done in your Power Query Editor, that will be discussed in the meeting. Okay, that you have to do these things. Okay, if it will be a big project. Okay, so most of the transformation of the data will be done by the data engineers itself. You don't have to transform the data. Okay, but let's say if you have a small project and if you are working alone at that project and there's no one to communicate with, or there's no one other than you. Okay, so you have to do the transformation as per your requirement. But if there is some limitations that okay, you have to do this transformation only and you have to show us this visualization, so as per the visualization that the requirement which you are trying to get, you have to use those transformation. Okay, but basically like I said, all these ETL thing, the main ETL thing is done by your data engineers. Okay, and they will give you the ready-made data so that you can directly pull it into the Power BI desktop and you can start creating reports and dashboard of that. But I will discuss this transformation of data in that is power in the Power Query Editor. Why? Because sometimes like if we are if we have to transform some small transformation. Okay, but you need it in the Power BI itself, then you should know about how to transform the data. That's why I will discuss the transformation of data as well. So it depends on the situation, like which project are you working on and whether they have provided you the FRD and all these things, like this have to be transformed and all these things. Okay, so that's the thing.
So we might be using ETL, or we may get ready-made data, right?
So see, like I said, the ETL part, the data which will be done is done by your data engineers. Okay, but as the sake for understanding, we will discuss the transformation of the data also. Okay, so we should know that how we can create. If we get if like in a project you will get some data and you will be telling that go and transform these data and give me these visuals. Okay, so then you have to do it by your own, correct? And for that reason you must have know about this transformation in the Power BI. Yes or no?
Okay.
Okay, So yeah, that's the thing.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Then we have, yeah. Now let's start with discussing ourselves the ETL tool of Power BI, that is the Power Query Editor. Okay, and today we will just look. What's that? Yeah. Today we will just look into the Power Query Editor. We will not import the data. We will not do the transformation, but we will just have a look into the Power Query Editor. Okay, that is how it looks like. Okay, so first of all, when you are in your Power BI desktop, okay, so this is our Power BI desktop application. You need to go to first to the Home tab, okay, which is I'm already in. Okay, and you have this transform data option. Okay, this icon, transform data. You just need to click on this transform data and it will take you to the Power Query Editor. Let me just click on it. Let me just show you. So see, once I've clicked on that transform data, another window has been opened. Okay, like we can see in here. Okay, this is our Power BI desktop. Uh, you guys can see these two tabs or the two windows. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so this is our Power BI desktop, and once I clicked on the transform data, it has opened one new window, which is our Power Query Editor. So this is our Power Query Editor looks like. Okay, so it's a new window. Okay, a new window will open. Let's see here. We have uh, if now if we will talk about the GUI. Okay, let's try to discuss that. On the left hand side, you will be having the queries. Okay, what is meant by queries in here? Queries are the different tables. Okay, different tables that your data has. It has those tables names mentioned on the left hand side. Okay, like you guys can see here. Whereas on the right pane, okay, what you have is, with respect to each and every query or with respect to each and every table, what all applied steps you have done for transformations, it will be showing or it will be having the details of those in this side. Okay, under the applied steps. Okay, anyways, we will be doing all these things once we start with the actual getting of the data and transformation part. Okay, I'm just giving you the overview of this Power Query Editor. So we will have the all the tables, and for each and every tables, what are the applied steps you are doing will be shown in here. Okay, so this is the thing. And now let's consider this first table. Okay, which is titled as film. Okay, so in the left pan, if you see, we have all the tables, and we will have in this thing, I didn't create a parameters. Okay, let me just open. No, okay, fine. That we will discuss about the parameters also. Okay, but right now, just remember that on the left pane of the Power Query Editor, you will be having all the tables names like this, and also the parameters in here. Whereas on the right pane, you will be having the trans you will be having the information about the applied transformation steps with respect to each table. Now, for example, if I will click on this first step, that is the source. Okay. So it will give you the information yeah. So it will just give you the information where it is coming from. Okay. Now, if you go to this navigation step, okay, so it will what it will say is, so it will go to what are you navigating or what you are getting from it. Okay, and the next step is the promoting headers and all these things, all these steps and all these different kinds of functions we will be discussing in very much detail, and we will be doing the hands-on for all these things. We will not go theoretically. Okay, we will do each and everything which is present in here. Okay, and we will show how we can transform the data as per our requirements. So we will be discussing in very much detail in the upcoming classes. Okay, so that is the thing about the Power Query Editor. Okay, so yeah, so that's the thing. Okay, now let me just check. So now if we will go to this home tab. Okay, now in here we have this apply and close option. Okay, if you just click on apply and close, basically what will happen, all this, or whatever the transformations you will do now, that will be applied onto your data, and they will be applied and you will be taken back to the Power BI desktop. Okay, once you click on that apply and close, you all the transformations will be applied and you will be taken back to the Power BI desktop. Okay, and then in the Power Query Editor we have the new source. Now let's say you want to bring in another file into this or another table into this. You can go to new source and you can connect it to more data sources as you want, and as you can see it has more than let me just show you, it has more than 100 kind of data sources. That is about the new data source. Okay, so we can see this is how much data sources we can get the data from. Okay, all these things. Then also uh, then also you can connect to the recent sources. Okay, whichever you have used. Okay, that is the thing, and you can manually enter the data. Like if you want to create the table, you can manually enter the data. That option is also available in the Power Query Editor. And if let's say you want to change the data source setting, you can do this right here by going to this. But right now you don't worry about the points that I'm going fast, because all these things we will be doing ourselves with respect to the data that we will get. Okay, I'm just trying to tell you what all can be done. So okay, so just listen to this, it's not the actual work. Okay, and here you can go to the some other options, like you can refresh, okay, all the tables, or you can go into the advanced editor. Okay, like this, and you can see all the steps that have been applied by yourself. Okay, in here we can see that steps. Okay, the formula of the steps we can say. Okay, and the thing which I have shown you in here in the advanced query editor, this is actually is the M code or the M language which comes with the Power Query Editor. Okay, this is our the M language or mashup code, or we can also call it as mashup language. Okay, then you can apply certain transformations, like you can choose the column. Okay, choose the column in the sense like you have different option. You can choose the column or go to the option, go to the columns, and you can keep only the columns that you want. Okay, or maybe you can delete, you can keep the rows, you can remove the rows, you can remove the columns, and you can split some columns. Even you can use the group by option. If you guys have studied uh, group by in SQL, you might have know about this group by, but we will discuss this everything in very much detail. And we can also do the merging of the queries, appending of the queries. Okay, and we will do all these things in detail. Don't worry about this right now. And this is the home tab. Okay, So yeah, any question or any doubt regarding what we have discussed today? Right? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So yeah, today I will stop in here. Okay, I will conclude this meeting now and wind up. And yeah, from the next class that will be going on the next Saturday, we will start from 11 and we will having the whole 1.5 hours of the classes. Okay, so if there is no doubt, so I will stop the recording and wind up the meeting. Okay, till then, bye and take care.
Eh,
Yeah,
Hello,
yeah.
sir.
Yes.
I didn't understand about tile. So what does it tile mean?
Tiles. Oh,
Yeah.
tiles is nothing. Let me just show you. So tiles is nothing that, like, see, if you are considering this view, okay, this box office YOY, so this is a particular type. Okay, if you consider this
Okay.
genre and revenue, so this is a particular type. Okay, so this
Okay.
everything, yeah. So, think it like that. If there is a floor and you use tiles now in your on your floor, so like that only you are using different we have many tiles in one of the report. Okay, so that's the thing. Got it?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Okay. So okay, let's wind up the call and let's connect next week. Till then, bye and take care.
Thank you.